Understanding data types is crucial for scripting in PowerShell, as it affects how data is stored, manipulated, and retrieved. Let's talk about PowerShell behaviors and basic data. We'll touch on other data types later on. For now, it is important to understand the basics. Let's see some examples that can happen in real life, which can make you be a bit confused without knowing the data types. For example, we have the number A and number B. Number A and number B, which contain 2 and 5. Let's say we add number A to number B and we got 7, which is totally expected. Number B minus number A is 3, and then we have number A plus number B and minus number A. Now something strange starts to happen. Let's understand what happened and what we didn't know. Data types define the nature of data that a variable can hold. In some programming languages, you must declare the data type explicitly, but PowerShell is designed to be flexible and can often infer the data type for you. However, this doesn't mean that data types aren't important in PowerShell. Knowing them well can save you from bugs and make your scripts more efficient. For example, simple text, or as we usually call it, strings, has its own data type that's called string. Let's start with some of the most common data types in PowerShell. $name that equals John Doe. It is actually a string, and we can check it by typing some method which called over the dot. .getType with braces. As you see, the name of a type is a string. $age that equals 30, and once again, getType says to us that this is int, which means an integer of 32 bits. The number with a dot is usually in the PowerShell and comes as double. And of course, Boolean, which represents a true or false value, like saying yes and no. Let's go back to our first example. Now, when we check the number B, we can see clearly that it is an integer, but not we find out that number A is a string. We didn't encounter any issues when we made an addition of number B and number A because we said number 2 plus string 5. PowerShell usually sees its first data type and tries to convert the next item to the same data type. And it simply converted string 5 to a number 5. But later, when we did number A plus number B plus number A, this was like string 2 plus number 5 minus string 2. So the first data type was a string and the next integer was converted to a string, which gave us string 2 and 5, which looks exactly like 25, and then we asked to make the subtraction, string 25 minus string 2. The interpreter got confused about how we should to subtract string by the string, and the most logical solution for him was to try to convert both strings into integers. This is what exactly it did. So we got integer 25 minus integer 2, which equals to a 23, equals to a 23. Or of course, we can tell to PowerShell which data type each variable. This one is called casting. Each data type has its own name, and we can use it for casting. To cast data type on any variable, we do that this way. Writing data type name surrounded by square brackets before the name of a variable or the data itself. Sometimes you need to evaluate your data or expression and only then cast it to a specific data type. For this, you can use braces. Let's see a few examples. We are going to talk about all the operators in the upcoming lesson. For now, I want to give you 2 of them, -as and -is. Using the operator is, we can ask any variable or data if it is the specific data type or not. And the return value is a Boolean of true and false. For example, we make 3 variables, integer, string, and double. And now let's ask each of them if it is a specific data type or not. As you see, we have, I've asked if this string I've got true, that this is a string. In the case of an integer, I've asked if this is not an integer, and it says false, that I'm not correct. This is an integer. In case of double, we can make something more interesting. I will assign its output to a variable, and not let's see the output of this variable. And what data type is it? Yes, Boolean as expected. Don't forget that PowerShell tries to convert your data from one to another one if they are different. As we are talking about casting, another method of casting is the usage of this operator. For casting any data to another type of data, we can do it like this. Just saying that this data is and typing data type. Of course, not everything can be converted.